Arsenal are on the up. Arsene Wenger's side go into the new year top of the table, aiming for their fourth Premier League crown. Comparing their record this term to the halfway stage last season, the Gunners occupy a considerably higher position with a better points return. They've also improved their shooting accuracy and tightened up at the back, all a recipe for success. The same can't be said for opponents Newcastle United. The Magpies are in serious danger of dropping down to the Championship next season if things don't improve. Their total of 17 points is their lowest ever return at this stage of a Premier League season, while their average of 1.8 goals per game conceded is their joint worst record in this division.
They do have the players to play some very, very good football and score goals, but they've got to do it on a consistent level. I do believe they have enough to get themselves out of the bottom three, get themselves safe. I think if they stick with Steve McClaren long term, it shouldn't be a problem.
Standing in their way this weekend is Petr Cech, who kept his 170th Premier League clean sheet on Monday, surpassing David James's record. Among keepers who've notched up at least 50 appearances since Cech made his debut in the competition, he also boasts the best save percentage. The Arsenal man may fancy his chances of another clean sheet, as Newcastle are the team that's had fewest shots this season. Only 60 of those 171 attempts actually hit the target, all part of a woeful record which has seen United fail to score in almost half their matches.
When confidence is low, taking that risk in the final third is always difficult. You know, it's all about risk versus reward. High risks mean big rewards. I think sometimes when confidence is low, you tend to play safe. You might just play that sideways pass, keep the ball, rather than risk giving it away.
Newcastle have struggled for consistency and been lingering in and around the bottom three throughout. Their results against sides currently in the top 10 have mirrored that patchy record, winning only twice. So as everyone gets ready to face teams for the second time this season, McClaren will hope for a better return. It looks like a tough start to 2016 for United, who face top 10 opponents in all 4 January League games, starting with Saturday's trip to the Emirates. Mind you, many times this season, we've seen that playing a club in a better position doesn't always mean you're destined for defeat.
When you play against the top teams, you generally tend to raise your standards. You know, effort levels go up by, anywhere between 5 and 10%, and that can make a huge difference.
Given Arsenal's attacking threat, one man sure to have his work cut out is Newcastle captain Fabrizio Coloccini. He's featured in every game this season, but is arguably underperforming. On average, the Argentine defender is winning fewer tackles per match than in most of his other top-flight campaigns. And that should provide plenty of encouragement for Olivier Giroud. The French forward has largely enjoyed facing Newcastle down the years, scoring 8 goals in just 7 Premier League appearances against them. They're the opponent he's scored against most often since moving to Arsenal in 2012.
I think Giroud, sometimes is underrated. The way that Arsenal play, he suits them to a T. He's the focal point. You know, he's happy to hold the ball up, bring other people into play and let those midfield runners go beyond him and obviously also score goals.
Arsene Wenger has won in 10 of his 11 Premier League meetings with Steve McClaren, and Arsenal's record against the Magpies is almost as one-sided. The Gunners have won 24 of the 43 Premier League clashes, 15 of those victories on home turf. You need to go back to November 2010 for the last time Newcastle took maximum points from this matchup. Since that win for the Magpies, Arsenal have scored 16 goals in the 4 encounters played in North London. And the form of both sides up until now strongly suggests that trend will continue in a game that has repercussions at both ends of the table.
Everybody expects Arsenal to win this game quite comfortably, but then this is Arsenal. You know, we've seen it before. No one expected the result against Southampton, but of course then they go on and they win the game after. There is still something about Arsenal that just says there is a blip in them. You know, they are not fantastically consistent. They can't always grind out a result.